Hey, Mitchell, I thought that today maybe we could try something completely different than we've ever done before. What do you say?
Oh, like what?
Well, instead of sharing good ideas with our audience, which I think is what we try to do all the time, today,
Yep.
why don't we try to come up with some really bad ideas?
Bad ideas. Great. I love it. I love the concept. But, Keith, bad ideas are not always such, well, bad ideas. Because today we're going to talk about one of the most popular idea generation techniques, and it's called bad to good. Ideas so bad, they're brilliant. So Keith, now that we've totally confused everyone, would you like to explain what we're talking about?
Sure, Mitchell. So in our last episode, we talked about brainwriting, that super effective, silent, collaborative writing technique that gives everybody the opportunity to share equally in a brainstorming session. And yes, today we're going to introduce one of the most fun, one of the most popular techniques we teach and use in our SmartStorming sessions, bad to good. And yes, bad ideas really can be turned into good ideas. If you and your team have ever said to yourselves, oh, we just can't come up with any good ideas, well, this is a technique you're going to want to pull out. Because when you can't come up with good ideas, why not come up with some bad ones and then make them good?
That's right. You know, a few episodes back, we talked about rules for effective idea generation. And one of the most debated rules, or one of the most controversial ones, is the one that goes, there's no such thing as a bad idea. But it's really true, because even when you think about it, even the worst sounding ideas can have the seeds of a really great idea within it. And this technique really proves that point.
Absolutely. You know, Mitchell, one of my favorite examples of that rule and this technique, I guess, is that guy we both know, we've met him, who thought to himself a number of years back, you know, why don't I dress football players in clothing made from women's lingerie fabric? Now, I don't care what you say, that sounds like a really bad idea.
It really does, doesn't it?
An idea that could potentially get you injured. But you know, that is exactly what one of our clients' companies, Under Armour, did and how it was created. The founder of that company, Kevin Plank, was a football player in college, and he had the idea to make t-shirts out of women's lingerie fabric that would wick moisture more effectively and be more comfortable when it was worn under his teammates' football uniforms. He did it. Everybody loved it. And not only did he start a multi-billion-dollar company in Under Armour, he created an entirely new and highly innovative category of athletic wear, simply by taking what sounded like a bad idea and making it a good one.
Right, and that's how the entire category of compression wear was born. Pretty amazing when you think about it. All right, so this is how the technique works. Now, bad to good is a three-step process, and it's one that you can do with a group, or it's kind of fun to do it with yourself if you need to. So the first step is you want to think about your challenge and then generate as many bad ideas as you can. Now, I'm talking about the worst ideas you can imagine. They can be awful, crazy, immature, really audacious, whatever. Just have fun and go wild. Then, once you have a nice list of bad ideas, in step 2, you want to take a few minutes and identify those ideas that have something interesting or provocative about them. And just use your intuition. What jumps out at you as something that you could potentially play with? Now, in step 3, for every idea you selected, ask yourself, is there something of value within this idea that you could use to turn into a good idea? Or if we reverse this idea, could we create a new one of value? You see, the idea is to use the information or the inspiration of that really bad idea as a turning point to transform it into a good idea.
That's great. And, Mitchell, I was thinking about the Under Armour example. So
Yeah.
let's say we were trying to solve that problem, right? How could we come up with a better T-shirt for football players to wear under their uniforms? And you might come up with a ton of bad ideas. You could make T-shirts out of disposable diapers. They absorb a lot of moisture. Right. Or we could make it out of something really comfortable and silky like women's lingerie fabric. Then you go back in that second step and say, well, wait, what's intriguing about that? Because that fabric would certainly not be too uncomfortable under the uniform. And by the way, it also wicks moisture pretty effectively, right? So we start to see the potential in it, and we turn the crazy, silly idea into something really good. That's how it works. Now, if you're not laughing when you're doing this technique, whether you're working alone or certainly with a group, if you're not laughing out loud that something's wrong, and you're probably not doing it correctly, because you're going to come up with some silly stuff. But it's amazing when you see how many great ideas you can come up with simply by giving yourself permission to come up with bad ones and taking that pressure off to only come up with great ideas. It's pretty magical.
Yeah, it really is, because Bad to Good is such a great technique to use when a challenge is really, really tough, or your brainstorming session starts to get bogged down in seriousness or heaviness. We've all been in brainstorming sessions where there doesn't seem to be an easy solution, and people start to get uptight and the ideas kind of stop flowing. And Bad to Good is just great. It just lightens things up. It eases the pressure people might be feeling. And it's really hard to be serious when everyone is laughing and sharing these wild and really crazy ideas. But most importantly, you can see how some good, bad ideas can actually turn into really great ideas.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, this is by far one of the most popular techniques that we introduce to our clients. So I want to encourage you to give it a try the next time you feel like you're tackling something really serious. Now, if you've been following this little mini series, the last 3 episodes, you now know how to do 3 highly effective, proven problem-solving techniques when you need to come up with innovative solutions to your challenges. You have idea sprinting, that fast-paced, beat-the-clock technique that gets lots of ideas on the table very quickly. We have brain writing, the one we learned last time, the silent collaborative writing technique that gives everybody an equal voice. And now Bad to Good, the opportunity to turn the worst ideas into the best ones. And again, just as a reminder, these 3 techniques and a whole bunch more are included in our SmartStorming book that you can learn more about on our website. So next time, we're going to start to give you some tips for how to put these techniques to work in the best way when we discuss how to structure a highly effective brainstorming session so that you get maximum productivity. That is what we're going to start talking about next time. So if you've ever participated in a group brainstorming session or plan to, don't miss it. I think you're going to find it really valuable. That's right. Well, until then, remember to think more innovatively. Hey, that's a good idea. Do you have questions about how you and your team can think more innovatively? Email them to us at partners@smartstorming.com or contact us through our website at smartstorming.com.